Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday afternoon, July 15th. We are looking at Window Trader's market profile for SPY IWM and triple Qs. I think the bulls have to be very happy how this week ended, considering where we were yesterday morning after the first hour of trading when they went down and tested a balance low, and we closed $14 above it. So again, we talk about that balance. So that was a great defensive stand by the bulls down there. We closed down on the week only about $3.50. The market, M period, Mo does what Mo does best. Curly and Larry didn't do anything, and then Mo has a tremendous reversal bar. He pushes down. It looks like he might even test the afternoon pullback, only to rip up and price probe. Same in triple Qs. Russell ends with a trend day. They're the only ones that held single prints, and they had two sets of them. Both of them are small, F and 1 penny in E, but it's a double distribution day. We hold our gap, as does triple Qs. Russell does not. So, a lot of different things. Russell doesn't hold their gap, yet they have a trend day. We hold gaps, and we don't have a trend day. We are all P-shapes, though, which is purely and clearly short covering. But short covering could go on for days, weeks, or even months. So eventually it'll make the market weaker. But for now, obviously the higher we went, the more panicked shorts got. We close above the 20-day moving average. Now, one day doesn't make a market, but it's a move in the right direction. So the question is now that we held the balance low, are we going to go and test the balance high, which is around the 393 level, and would also put us closer to the 50-day moving average. Had a good day, good week. Didn't do much in the afternoon as it got very, very quiet and boring, and I wasn't going to touch M period. So in A period, I actually put a put play in before the opening where I thought the 384 puts would open because I was doing it against the price spike from Tuesday. So when we opened and we went right up to it, we were right around it actually. We opened right at it actually. It went against me initially because I got filled. But then it came in where I made money on that put, which was nice. And then when A pulled back, I took a long. Nothing huge because I was still looking for it. I got a little picky. I was really looking for it to pull back right to the 20-day moving average. And I took a small one, nothing big. But the 380s worked out. Then I shorted B period because it didn't look like we wanted to go trend. So I did the 385 puts on that. And then my last three trades of the day were all longs. C period, pulled back. I took a 382 call play. Even though once we filled the single prints, didn't think we were going to go back below the opening. We did not. F period, I took a long, thinking it might be the afternoon pullback low. It was only a small one. I did it again in G. Well, G, I did a bunch of longs. So F, I took a small call, got out of it, and then I was asleep at the switch when G flushed out. It lasted for a minute and then came back. But before I innovated, we were one time framing down. Each time G went up and then pushed down, I started taking longs. I thought G's low was going to be our pullback with everything that was so in favor of the buyers today. So I kept scalping longs, and then I probably recycled 50 call plays, had some when we popped the top, but it didn't really run right away. So got out of the rest of them, but it turned out to be a nice trade. And that was my last trade of the day, as we really just traded sideways until M did its little dance like Mo usually does. We end 11 wide, and we go out with a price probe. So for the upside, we have 385.25 as our first destination. Then we have the afternoon rally high from the 12th, which we just missed at 385.38. 386.16 daily high, 386.87 daily high, weekly high, 390.64 weekly high, and 393.16 weekly highs. So really, we only have that one daily high, and then the next three are weekly highs, and that would get us to the top of our 4-week balance. For the downside, I am now using D&E's high, which was poor, as our price probe, 384.85. Then we're 11 wide at L's low at 384.11. Our afternoon pullback low, which was G's low of 383.22. And then today's low of 380.54 and filling the gap at 378.57. 197 point gap. So that's a pretty decent gap still below us right here. Now, let's go and break down all these charts. And as we're speaking, again, I want to thank everybody for subscribing and liking this YouTube channel. I hope it provides some really good information. Let's go to our charts, and we're going to start with the Russell. Now, the Russell goes out with a trend day. Look where Russell closes, 173.09. I know I beat this to death, but believe me, it's important. August of 2018's high is 173.39. If the Russell ever expects to get their acting gear and stop the down momentum on the monthly, they need to get above that and eventually take out this month's high, whatever it may be, to start an upward movement. But first things first, they need acceptance above 173.39. So the monthly is still down inside month halfway through the month. Weekly, 4-week balance. This now is another inside week. Now, I know last week took out the previous week by pennies. I still consider that an inside week. It took it out by 3 cents. So the pot is boiling here. It's a 4-week balance with 2 inside weeks in a row. Is it going to pop to the upside or the downside? So weekly is balance. And the daily is also balanced. They came into a 4-day balance today. Markets don't go bear bull. We went bear, being down 4 days in a row, to balance. It's a 4-day balance. They also closed above the 20-day moving average. So the monthly is down, weekly balance, daily balance, inside week. Triple Qs, monthly down, right? Nothing's changed. It's an inside month halfway through, but we'll see at the end of the month how it ends. But for now, it's still down on the monthly. Now look at their weekly. Again, an inside week, 2 weeks in a row. 4-week balance. So again, this market is looking for more MGI, and it's also on the verge of probably getting a pretty significant move to the upside or the downside, whichever way we finally come out of this balance. So the weekly is balanced and the daily is balanced also. Just like us, we have a gap, but markets don't go bear bull. We just came into a 4 or 5 day balance, whatever you want to incorporate it as, above the 20 and right below the 50-day moving average. Now, let's go to SPY and ES. We have big earnings coming up next week. The big tech start. Not all of them, but you have, I know I wrote them down somewhere. We have Netflix Tuesday night, Tesla Wednesday night, and then the following week you have all the other ones, Amazon, Google, Apple, Facebook. So here's the monthly in SPY. Same as all the others. It's down with an inside month in progress, but that's still down for me right now. Now here's the important one for us. When we came out of an inside week to the downside, and it failed miserably, it spent only a couple of time frames below it, and we held our balance low of 370.18. We got down to 371.04. Look at that weekly bar. So we're all very positive how we closed out the weekly. Let me see if Russell's is the same. Sure is. So our 3 weekly bars are very positive closes, even though we're still just in balance. So obviously the next destination is the top of our balance for all 3 of us. So the question is, traders will do what's worked until it doesn't work anymore. What's been played before affects what happens next. So you know when we get to the top of the balance, there'll be sellers defending it. The question will be, will we be able to come out of it? If you come out of this to the upside, you're going to be setting off a lot of stops, and especially in Russell and Qs, since they have inside weeks. But again, for now, it's just balance waiting for more MGI. And then the daily, same thing. Again, you can call it a 4-day balance or a 5-day balance. Since Monday's high is only 60 cents higher than Tuesday's, I'm going to call it a nice 5-day balance. Monday's high is the top of it, and yesterday's low is the bottom of it. Again, we're between the 20 and the 50. This gap is my main focus. I hope you had a good week trading. Again, come check us out at camelbacktrading.org for $1 a day. Boy, oh boy, has this market given us some really good opportunities based on MGI that we pass on to our trading room throughout the entire trading day. Rest up, have a great weekend, and we'll speak prior to the opening on Monday.